focus on the teams that went down over the weekend. Texas went to the Swamp and lost to a one-win Florida team, 29-21, after previously falling to Ohio State in Week 1. Texas has not been unranked since 2022. Let's hear from Steve Sarkisian.
You haven't led in either of your games against Power 4 teams, and I was just curious how so many people, including myself, could be wrong about your team, and how stunned are you?
I don't know if I'm stunned. I mean, take the other – how many teams are there in college football? 130, 36? Take the other 135 and have them go play at Ohio State and at the Swamp. See how they do.
All right. He's not entirely wrong. But, Paul, did you like Sark's comments there?
No, Shay, I thought it was terrible. And what he failed to mention is that USF played at the Swamp a couple of weeks ago and beat Florida. It's not that difficult. It's a traditionally rich place, but for somebody who is expected and is said to be one of the elite coaches in the country and who started the season off #1 in the country, that is just nothing more than a lame excuse. And really, it's unbecoming of someone of his stature. They have failed miserably this year. If he's not shocked, then he's not paying very close attention, because I'm shocked, and I think most people are shocked. You don't go from 1 in the country to out of the top 25 before we get to the second week in October without a shocking revelation. And right now they are fighting for their lives. They have 2 losses, which is important. I think they're one of the few teams in America that could afford a 3rd loss and still get in the playoff because they played at Ohio State. But they're running out of mulligans right now, Stephen A.
First things first. First of all, it's good to see you. I missed you last week, buddy, #1. #2, I want to say this about Steve Sarkisian right here on national television. I respect this man. I like this man, and I think that for the most part, he's been a hell of a coach. I'm very disappointed with what I've seen from Steve Sarkisian this year. To me, Paul, he has coached scared. He has coached like somebody who's been forced to deal with all the allure, all the attention and notoriety that comes associated with Arch Manning. And he has not lived up to the billing any more than his quarterback has. And I think that he's been feeling the pressure since the opening of the season, Paul. I think he has coached like it. And I think that an example, for him to say what he said as a quote, what do you mean? You know, how would they do? You're Texas. You came into the season ranked as the #1 team in the nation. And this ain't Florida that's being coached by Urban Meyer, no disrespect. Okay, Urban Meyer's not there. He's not walking through that door. Tim Tebow ain't walking through that door. This is a different Florida Gators program. For him to come out of his mouth and say that, to me, just speaks to the level of disappointment everybody should be feeling about Steve Sarkisian, because I think that he has coached scared because Arch Manning is there. There was huge expectations, and he's been dealing with all of that instead of just coaching football like he knows how to coach football.
Listen, it ain't just Arch Manning, though. We all know that.
I know
right?
that.
Paul, I mean, it's the O-line's got issues. They didn't.
But I'm talking about the notoriety. I'm talking about the attention.
But
that's all I'm talking about.
If there does feel like there's a little bit of, I don't know, where he needs to stay with Arch because Arch sat out for a year. His last name is Manning. I mean, I'm just pointing out the obvious.
He's feeling those kind of pressures. He's feeling those kind of pressures. That's all I'm talking about. I'm not trying to imply that Arch Manning is the only problem, Paul. What I'm saying is that all the attention that was aimed at the program, they had Arch Manning as a Heisman Trophy finalist before the season began. Paul was guilty of that. Paul was guilty of that. He knows that. But I'm just saying, all of that stuff Sarkisian has reacted to, and he's been reacting to since the opening of the season. And I think it's exposing the difference between him and the likes of a Nick Saban, a Kirby Smart, and others. There's levels to this. And he's showing that he's not on that level because of how he has handled all this attention.
Paul?
Yeah, but one thing I will say about Arch Manning, Stephen A., he actually played well enough to win on Saturday against Florida. His offensive line just forgot to show up, and he was literally running for his life the entire game. But you're ultimately right. Sarkisian is thought of as one of the 2 or 3 or 4 best coaches in the country.
Yes.
But he's not looking like it. I think the Ohio State game was a shock to his system, and he has been blaming everybody but himself since then.
Yeah.
All right, well, one good thing, I guess, for the Longhorns is that they don't have to face Alabama. Brought up Nick Saban, right? They don't have to face Alabama this season, who has now beat 2 ranked teams in a row, Georgia and Vanderbilt, after having a little bit of a slow start, and they did that in back-to-back weeks. But now the question is, Paul, does Alabama have enough to win it all?
Yes. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to get some blowback here, but that's great. Stephen A., they are playing with an amazing amount of confidence. And I still can't explain what happened against Florida State. And I know how you feel about that, and that's fine. But they are really an elite team right now. And Ty Simpson, the quarterback, is playing as well as anyone in the country. They have wide receivers. They have a very strong offensive line. Their defense is held up. And I realize they've beaten one really good team, Georgia, and one average to good team in Vanderbilt. They'll see another one this weekend in Missouri. May not sound great, but Missouri's capable. And then the schedule next week will be Tennessee. They'll see LSU. They'll have to deal with Oklahoma and Auburn. Their schedule is incredibly difficult. They have very, very little room for error, but I do believe they can win the national championship.
Hell no. I don't believe that for 1 second. I want to state that for the record. Hell to the no. No. Let me tell you something. Kalen DeBoer can coach, and I know that he's had success wherever he's been before he arrived at Alabama. Succeeding Nick Saban is a lot, but I think about the SEC. You got to be a rough rider, and I think that he's brought finesse to Tuscaloosa. My issue with that is when you're going up against big-time competition, and I don't really consider Georgia that to be that program right now, to be quite honest with you. I got questions about it. I don't. You can say that. You can say that, but we'll see. We'll see. Ty Simpson, he's been impressive, no doubt about that. Let's see what happens over those 4 weeks when you got Ole Miss, when you got Auburn, when you got LSU. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm predicting they're going to lose 2 of those 4 games. I'm predicting they're going to lose 2 of those 4 games. That's what I'm predicting. We're about to find out because think about what Paul just said. He said the defense holds up. What? This is Alabama. That's not what you say about Alabama. You talk about the defense carrying you. You talk about Rough Riders. You talk about Hogs, the meat and potato brothers. That's what you're talking about here. That's what I want to see from Alabama, okay? That's not what I'm seeing. I know they got ballers. They're not scrubs. I know they're going to have something to say about it. They're not Penn State where they're going to wilt beneath the pressure every time a big game shows up. I'm not saying that. But this is not the Alabama that I am accustomed to seeing. And he's right. I haven't gotten over how Florida State handled them. When a quarterback comes into a game who played at Boston College last year, talks smack about you, says Nick Saban can't come to save you, and then steps out on the field 3-4 days later and busts your living you know what. I'm sorry. There's still residue of trepidation from that experience. I'm sorry. That's how I feel about it.
All right, well,
it's just my feelings.
We'll have time here to figure out who Alabama is. They got 7 games left, 4 against ranked teams, and then, of course, they got the Iron Bowl at the end of the year. I'll tell you who is not winning the national championship this year. North Carolina. Absolutely.
Hey, come on in. Come in.
Come on in, Jeff.
Come in. You got to walk a little faster.
No, I'm not touching you. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't get near me.
That's probably
my
why
Lord.
Jeff Saturday wants to join the conversation.
It's all yours.
But here we are, okay? UNC. Their football program with Bill Belichick has been, I don't know, abysmal is the way I can say it.
Lord.
They have produced the program's worst start against Power 4 competition since the Tar Heels first fielded a team in 1888. I don't need to dive into how bad it's been, but I need to set the scene here. And so I don't even know, how bad is it in Chapel Hill, Jeff Saturday?
It's rough. It's rough right now. I'll be honest, it's rough. It makes me sad. I got a lot of blue in my closet I can't wear right now. Like it's hard. It's hard out there. It's hard out there right now. I appreciate.
I notice you ain't wearing your Carolina blue like you normally
do. I typically do.
Yes, right.
But I will say this: we gotta hope. It's just not hope right now. We gotta hope. We got future hope. Future. I'm forecasting out. We turn this thing around and make something. Paul, help me here. You right? We
can't help you.
We got hope, Paul. We got hope.
He's laughing.
No, you have no hope. Here's what I can't get over. I mean, we're talking about Bill Belichick, who is the greatest NFL coach in history. Right now, Jeff, he's working toward being the worst coach in college football history. That's how bad he is. There's nothing to be happy about. It's an abject disaster. I feel badly for the guy because it seemed like a good idea at the time, but right now, who in their right mind would want to go play for him?
Question. Is it a matter of him being bereft of talent, simply not being able to recruit, transfer, portal, NIL, whatever? You don't have the talent? Or are we looking at a team where they just don't seem to know what they're doing because they're not receiving the proper coaching. What are we seeing?
I would say it's probably a mix of both. I will say we have 70 new players, and a bunch of them came in the summer. So it's and you know the Mac Brown guys who did stay, like that the transition is difficult anyway. But being new to college, getting that thing put together, and then there are a bunch of errors that are happening on the field that I know they're coached not to do, but unfortunately we're not executing on the field. And we have our talent gap is there until next year when we can't get a recruiting class.
Shay, you know what I got to say before I hand this over to Paul for the last word? We walked into this season believing that there was a possibility that he would end up back in the NFL because obviously the buyout was reduced from $10 million to $1 million, right? Where you could buy him out and he could return to the NFL. The way things are going at North Carolina right now, nobody in the NFL is going to want him. Paul?
Another want him, but no one else in college is going to want him at this point.
Stephen A., I'm going to go ahead and fire Belichick right now and send Jeff Saturday to save this program. He is capable of doing it. I believe in you, Jeff.
Oh, don't do me dirty. Don't do me. Keep your hope out there, Tar Heels. Keep your hope out there.
Keep your hope, because against Power 4 teams, you have been outscored 120-33. It is not been good.
That ain't convincing
Coming up,
enough,
how
bro.
close was Giannis to being a Knicks?